Yo, 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 what up, guys? It's your boy WrestleFlo, OG WrestleFlo fans, what it is. So, I'm going to be doing this little podcast every week, and we still have to name it. But it's basically kind of going over the rumors and the state of the WWE, AEW, pro wrestling, and all of that stuff. So, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Subscribe. Let's get the numbers up so even my content starts increasing and we'll be spending more time here on this channel. Also, make sure you guys subscribe to my Twitter, WrestleFloOG at WrestleFloOG. Let me just make sure if it is WrestleFloOG. Just making sure. Yes, Twitter at WrestleFloOG, Instagram at WrestleFloOG, and then TikTok at WrestleFlo. So, these are, my various channels where I, talk wrestling. On TikTok, it's a little more shorter, but it's a little quicker. You know what I mean? Like if I'm watching a pay-per-view, Raw or SmackDown or Dynamite or anything or any crazy news, I'll just, you know, put it up on TikTok real quick. And yeah, and this is our little weekly thing here. And, I try to make as much content. I honestly would love to do this full time. It would be great, but hey. So, anyways, guys, what I want to get into tonight is a few things. So I didn't get a chance to watch this, but over, my feed and everywhere, I have heard that they called up Karrion Kross and another NXT. I'm not too much of an NXT fan, but they called up Karrion Kross, a big fan of his, and Scarlett, but they just called up Karrion Kross to main event. Just for a little tryout because they want him to come up to the main roster on Raw or SmackDown. Apparently he didn't have his theme, he didn't have the smoke, he didn't have Scarlet, and it was just like what I heard was default wrestler number 8, basically. It was something like that. That's what I heard. That's what I saw on Twitter. And it's just one of those things where it's like you have another wrestler where, they could do a lot with Karrion Kross, and everyone knows this. Everyone knows this as a fact. This isn't hidden anyone. After a long time, you get a few wrestlers that, that are main event type, and you could do a lot with them. And what I see the WWE doing is, they're going to make that mistake. Like, remember Keith Lee? When they brought Keith Lee to the main roster for a while until he disappeared, they changed his music for what he was very hyped up for. His promos were like, hello, gentlemen. Like, it felt like less of a favorite wrestler, more of a butler. So they give they give sorry about that. So they give these superstars a bunch of terrible gimmicks. A bunch, shout outs to Jim Johnson. He put the WWE on. I mean, half of the hype was because of his music, his theme entrances that he came up with. Shout outs to him because after he left, we all have like these regular terrible theme songs anyways. And that's how it's been. You have like these default number 8 theme songs, and unfortunately they use the good nowadays what happens is they use the good theme songs like during NXT, and then when they bring them to the main roster, they have these default generic ass theme songs, and it's like, dude, that's not how it works. If you're trying to get a person over, whether it's heel or face, they should at least have a good theme song. Remember Stone Cold's theme song? Like when you knew that this badass SOB is coming out to kick some, ass. And now it's like, like Edge, even Christian. Yeah, Christian's theme song was great. Who else had the Undertaker, of course, Jim Johnson. And then you have some of these like licensed that they got like Rollin' for the Undertaker from Limp Bizkit. Mark Henry's theme song from 3 6 Mafia. Somebody gonna get the exit. Somebody gonna get their wig split. Somebody gonna get their ass kicked. Somebody gonna get their wig split. Beat 'em up, split 'em up. You knew Mark Henry's coming to kick some ass, dude. And now you have generic number 8. Sorry, I keep on. The generic theme song for me is like the Tough Enough number 1 theme song from Daniel Pewter. Maven. That's from Mavens, if you guys remember who Maven was. Even that was a good song, guys. Even the Maven Tough Enough song was a good theme song. I mean, compare all of these other theme songs to Maven's theme song and look up Maven's theme song for you, for those of you guys who don't know who Maven is. This is about like 15 years ago almost, I think 15, 16, even more shit. So, it's just, you have Karrion Kross, such a good wrestler. He's built everything. You guys did such a great job with this theme song and, having Scarlett. Why? And there's word that they're going to break up Scarlett and Karrion Kross. Like, they're going to send one to one show, one to the other. So why would you even do that? I don't understand the science behind it. Why can't you just keep a good package together? Why you gotta split them? That's ridiculous. That's like saying you have something that's working for you, and then you're gonna go and proceed to just tear that apart, and then 1 year later, Karrion Kross is released by the WWE. Scarlett Bordeaux is released by the WWE. And then you ask the fans to, Triple H, like I've said in my other videos, gets mad, disappointed in the fans. You guys don't understand. Well, God, here's your point. What are you doing with Karrion Kross? Such a good wrestler. Main event, I could see him fight for the world title, on Raw or SmackDown. With some of these big guys like Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns now, and all of these guys. But you're making a mistake by before they even make an impact, and then you push guys like Lars Sullivan, and it's just like there's ridiculous. If they will, they will split up Scarlett and Karrion, and even if it's a good deal, they're gonna split it. And what's gonna happen is they're both gonna fail in their respective, even though they're mad talented, both of them are mad talented. If you've seen them in other promotions, both of them have been damn good. And to waste that talent is just ridiculous. And, from time to time, I feel like, and, that's what I've said in my previous podcast as well, is that from time to time, I do see that happening where I feel like, eventually, so not as of yet, except for Jon Moxley and you could say Chris Jericho, AEW has not capitalized any of their WWE signings. Now, I'm hoping that they do that with Andrade. But, as they traded Miro, they're finally building up Miro. They took so long to build up Miro. That was the best hype. His promo, and you guys should have just kept it going. But, with that whole, like, that angle you guys put him in as the best man and all this crap. That shit's ridiculous, man. How could you guys drop the ball on Miro like that? Rusev. So it's one of those things. So if the WWE keeps on doing this with their talent, and mind you, let go of all of the crap people, but like people like Karrion Kross or even Keith Lee and all of these people, like what they did with Andrade or Miro, like come on, like what else is gonna happen? AEW is gonna capitalize on your released talent. It's just one of those things. I don't know what Vince McMahon has thought for the future. I know he's making big moves, whether it's the whole Peacock thing or, the Saudi Arabia thing and all of that stuff. But it's just one of those things where it's like, And unfortunately, we live in such a time where a lot of people don't realize is that the time when WWF was going against WCW, both companies had been around for like almost equal or a long time in their own respective company time. While here you see a big difference with AEW, just like 2 years, I would say 2.5 or 3 years almost, and the WWE almost, let's see, what WrestleMania are we on? Because it's, I think, 37, 38. Now we're approaching WrestleMania 38. Isn't that crazy, right? 38. Damn. Shit. Didn't The Undertaker lose at WrestleMania 30? That's crazy, man. That's almost 7 years ago? Shit, dude, what? That's crazy, man. If you think about it, that Undertaker lost his streak about 8 years ago, dude. That's crazy. Undertaker's freaking old. Shit, I'm getting old. I'm almost in my 30s now, bro. That's crazy, bro. So, not to get off track, but, when I heard of the whole Karrion Kross thing, it was just, bringing up old memories of how they're just gonna like drop the ball on this. And, you know, unfortunately, no matter how talented Karrion Kross or Scarlett is, they're gonna drop the ball on them. And what's going to end up happening is they're going to get released after a year or two when they're not utilized or they're stuck in the mid card and the WWE doesn't, the creative doesn't have good storylines for them. That's what's going to end up happening. So, so that's what it is, guys. I mean, it's sad. It's sad to see what the hell is going on. It's just like I don't know what they've planned out, what they want to do, and all of this shit. So apparently, in other news, John Cena is wants to come back soon to the WWE. He's like, I haven't had my last match yet. Now, I don't know how I feel about this because okay, like as much as I used to hate John Cena for a long time, I miss his shenanigans. I miss his like cheesy, dumb, like wannabe ass promos. I don't know. It just like it completed like Raw for me at this point. Like now I think about it, and it feels like it completed Raw for me for the longest time. Where like used to freaking hate John Cena, man. I hated John Cena so much. When he came out and all of that. And I was actually a John Cena fan when, he was Doctor of Thugonomics. And when he first switched over to like, C Nation and all of that, I was actually a fan. I was a big fan of John Cena, bought his album. I still like some of his songs till this day. Just Another Day, that's a good one. And then I started hating him because one just like everyone else who hates John Cena, like who hated him as a character during the time that he was in the business, was that he was like there was a time where he had organic reach, right? And then I don't know when or how eventually over the years that got switched into them just shoving John Cena down our throats. And that's when it started becoming harder and harder and harder to bear John Cena on TV. And then it became like his character started changing. It was very subtle, but if you pay attention, his character started changing. Like you would see him like, doing the salute when he's not even a Marine, start acting like as if he's a Marine, he's not. Doing all these cheesy promos, then kids getting involved, and then the whole, trust, respect, hustle, loyalty, all of this crap. You start sounding like a dad, bro. John Cena went from being a cool ass dude character to being like this, I don't know, man, like a goody goody two shoes type of a person, Super Cena, then his moveset changed to five moves and all of this cheesy crap. His cheesy promos were hilarious, where he, straight face and he said something so freaking stupid. And it was just hilarious that is this guy really like cutting this promo right now, like with a straight face? Thank you, nice to meet you. I am Super Cena. Like shit like that. And hilarious. By the way, my favorite John Cena moment is when Mark Henry switched up on him after doing the retirement speech. Best. Look it up if you guys have not. Hilarious, best swerve ever. So it's one of those things, man. So I do miss John Cena from time to time. It feels like, Cena, Punk. That was a good era. Like 2011 to 13, 14 was a good time in the WWE. Because now that those stars aren't there anymore, now you feel that, like, these guys had their presence, man. Like, these guys were really, like, they're doing a good job, man. Like, Cena, now it feels like, yeah, man, Cena's missing from Raw. Now it doesn't even feel that much, but, like, when he first left Raw and you didn't see Cena for a couple of weeks, you're like, damn, man, I miss his cheesy ass. So, it's just one of those things. So, I feel like, yeah, Cena should come back, but not, once again, we want some Cena. We don't want all Cena. But I don't know who he would go against. And that's the crazy part. Like, who would Cena go against? Is the main thing. Like, I don't know, man. Like, Cena versus. Because it's going to be a WrestleMania or a SummerSlam. Let me think about this. Who would Cena go against? It's probably going to have to be against someone worth it. Like, I would love to see a Cena. I mean, I know obviously they're gonna utilize Cena with like Roman Reigns or something, but just to give me a classic feel, I would love to see another Cena Orton. Cena versus Orton would be great. You guys don't need to add no title, picture, nothing. It's about like respect or something, who's the bigger legend, all of this crap. Have a number of Cena Edge or Cena Orton. I would love to see that. Or even a Cena Triple H at this point. I don't know if Triple H has one more match left on him, but I think when someone cancels on them, Triple H is the best bet at a WrestleMania. But I would love to see another Cena Orton, Cena Edge for sure. That's for sure. Unless, obviously, I'm pretty sure if Cena's going to come back, he's going to come back for Roman, most likely. Because I don't want to see another Cena Lashley. I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like Lashley is so good. Lashley is at such a good point in his career right now, but I feel like Lashley does not have a good speaking, like good communication power when it comes to promos. It's kind of like what Roman Reigns had, when he was a face. But now Roman has improved as a heel, and it just fits his character better. So that's the thing with Bobby Lashley. I feel like Bobby Lashley, if it wasn't for MVP, and it's the same chemistry, just like, Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar. For the most part, it's like Paul Heyman is the voice of Brock Lesnar. So it's kind of the same way where it's like MVP is the voice of the voice of Bobby Lashley. But we don't want too many of those, There's so many people who could cut a good promo, and then obviously if creative and Vince McMahon lets them, I think they should. I think they should be able to cut promos as they want, because that'll be organic. And honestly, like with Bobby Lashley, I haven't seen some of his earlier work. I know he's been around in the WWE for quite some time now, going back, coming back, leaving for a bit. But I don't know. I just feel like Bobby Lashley could do a better job speaking. So where were we? So Cena, okay, yeah. So, Cena versus Edge, or Cena versus Randy Orton. Cena versus Randy Orton is like top notch, and even Cena versus Edge. Would love, love, love to see those to go at it again at a WrestleMania or at a SummerSlam. Because I don't know, it would just hit like old vibes, like throwback nostalgic stuff. So would love to see something like that. So that's what it is with that. Let's see what other stuff was going on today. Let's see. I already talked about the Alexa Bliss Bray Wyatt stuff in my last video. Let's see. Let's see. Wow, so apparently Eva Marie was listed in the alumni section of the WWE website. So when people like, start spreading this news, obviously, she took Twitter to, like deny it and all of that crap, and she was still on there. This is gonna be a fail, guys. I'm sorry, but we all could see this. We all could see this. We could see this. Definitely coming. Let's see. Brock Lesnar. Apparently, Brock Lesnar is still in talks with the WWE, different departments of the WWE, but there's no exact date or there's no contract signed yet with the WWE. So let's see what happens with Brock Lesnar. That's crazy. Let's talk about Samoa Joe NXT role. So when Samoa Joe got released, I was really happy that he got released, only because I felt like he could take his talent somewhere else and do a way better job at it than they would, let him. Unfortunately, Samoa Joe chose to, take the money and go back to the WWE, NXT. And, Triple H went for the grab. Samoa Joe is back on NXT. And now he is an enforcer for William Regal, the general manager. And Samoa Joe is the person who sets order within the NXT locker room and roster and all of that crap, which, when I watch some highlights on YouTube, so like I told you guys, I don't watch NXT that much and not a big fan, but if there's something crazy going on, like, I was following some of Karrion Kross's stuff and all of that. So when I saw, Samoa Joe is back on NXT, I went on and, I viewed some of his clips for the past 2 weeks. So it seems like an interesting role. I just feel like it would be more interesting if Raw had a better general manager and Samoa Joe was the enforcer there. I just feel like that this whole storyline on the main roster would be 20 times better. And it would be more serious. Like, for example, Samoa Joe and Roman Reigns butting heads on SmackDown, for example, because Samoa Joe is the enforcer and Roman Reigns is the head of the table, the chief, the tribal chief. And they're both Samoan. Haha. There's your connection. It would be such a good thing. But I don't know why. But then again, NXT is kind of like Triple H's show, and the main roster, whether it's Raw or SmackDown, is all Vince. So another missed opportunity for you guys. There you go. So if he's doing well on NXT, I think he should stay on NXT. But I think the same storyline would be used way better in the main roster if Vince let them. That's what it boils down to. Because even if Samoa Joe, we saw what happened to him last time, wasn't utilized, wasn't used correctly, all of this crap. So if he's being used on NXT correctly, I think that's good, and they should keep on doing that. But once again, it's just one of those things where it's like, you see good stuff happening in the company, but then it's just like, damn, man, they just miss it on the main roster where it actually all matters. So, you know, but yeah, guys, that's it for tonight's podcast. And I will name it hopefully when I upload it. And we will have this weekly. And make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, man. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Let's get these numbers up so we can start spreading this podcast everywhere. Make sure you guys follow me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all of that. And make sure you guys throw a big thumbs up on this video. And I will be setting up a Patreon soon. And, not to say that, oh, guys, pay me just right now and all of that. But what I'll do is I will set up a membership. So where I could create exclusive content for you guys. So where you guys, I will be reviewing some of the Vice wrestling documentaries and some of my favorite matches and all of that stuff, any crazy news and all of that. So I'll be posting that link up and talking about it in my next video. And yeah, guys, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, guys, and let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think about all we talked about? What do you guys think about Brock Lesnar signing back to the WWE? What do you guys think about Samoa Joe's role in NXT? What do you guys think about John Cena's last match? Who should be John Cena's last opponent in the WWE? So let me know in the comment section. Also, let me know what you guys think about Karrion Kross and Scarlett coming to the main roster. So make sure you guys let me know in the comment section. And WrestleFlo OG, I will see you guys soon. All right, guys, take care. Hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. Take care, guys.